The poet A.E. Housman, England's late 1800s poet. An interesting character, and not a bad poet, but his most significant work comes in a collection titled The Shropshire Lad. I believe it was published in 1896 or somewhere or thereabouts. It's a very interesting work. It shows some real talent for versification, very musical work. It has an evocative through line in which critics have noted some of what came out later was Hausman's homosexuality, and critics have had some fun stitching together some threads to bring out that theme, which Hausman concealed for most of his life. So that's an interesting little parlor game. One of the catchiest little tunes on there, and I say that with some admiration, is the poem that is only titled number 13. It is the 13th in a collection that make up the book, and it is generally titled "When I Was 1 and 20," which is a very catchy, very musical, very steady beat that has some real charm in it, and you can see some really significant ideas getting wrapped up in there that is irresistible. When I was 1 and 20, I heard a wise man say, "Give crowns and pounds and guineas, but not your heart away. Give pearls away and rubies, but keep your fancy free." But I was 1 and 20, no use to talk to me. When I was 1 and 20, I heard him say again, the heart out of the bosom was never given in vain. 'Tis paid with sighs aplenty and sold for endless rue. And I am 2 and 20, and oh, 'tis true, 'tis true. Which is cute. It's very fun. It is relentlessly regular in its meter. That 3-beat thing really hammers into it. When I was 1 and 20, I heard a wise man say, "Give crowns and pounds and guineas, but not your heart away." And it is just relentless. And that simple, like dog trot rhythm and very regular rhyming is, on the one hand, kind of pedestrian, but there's a lot of music and charm and excitement wrapped up in that, and that charm and that excitement, I think, infuses the poem formally with what it's getting at in content, which is the thrill of youth, the excitement, the romance of youth. And there's a lot to be said for matching form and content in that way. And then at the end, and I am 2 and 20, you hear the subtle shift in the rhyme, in the meter, and or in the meter at least, not the rhyme. And oh, 'tis true, 'tis true. It's keeping to that 3-beat thing, but it's sort of an afterbeat, and that introduces some interesting little challenge to the regularity of it. And so that sense of that spirit of youth and fun crashes kind of hard towards the end, and that is part of the theme, after all, of the work. And through it, you can also see that excitement, not just of the youth, but of something endemic in the age itself in England, a kind of imperial vision of somebody going and rounding the world away. Well, go around the world. That is a very confident thing to do, certainly, but it's also a somewhat colonial view of the world. The world is just your little playpen. Go and do what you want with it, and then you can come home and you will have a richer life for it, is basically what that's saying. But then at the end, of course, it is when you are coming back and you are somewhat burdened with the experience, and perhaps some pain, some heartbreaks, perhaps. But it is it's a remarkable little interpretation of the late 1800s imperial project in Great Britain, and we know what's going to happen to that in the few decades to come as we click over into the 20th, and the empire starts to fritter away in the face of the global realities. And so this poem, while again it has a real ditty-like quality to it, and it is not something that is that really resounds with the portentous moments of the incoming modernist age. It is it is a late stage Victorian uh, artifact that I think captures something significant in its social and artistic milieu, but also it's just fun. It's a very easy poem to remember. It's very easy for recitation purposes, which it probably was used for in school at some point, and and it brings back on a very basic gut level the joy of poetry.